What's up, everyone? Check out the Comic Outlaw on YouTube. Drop us a like, a subscribe, or just hit us up. And we're back doing ElfQuest Book 2. And this has been a wonderful story. I've actually been wanting to do this for a while. ElfQuest comics are kind of hard to find unless you buy them in the set, so it's another reason I decided to bring this to you guys. And this one's The Hands of the Symbol Maker. When we last left Cutter and Skywise, they had went back through the desert, through the mountains, into the forest to find their home, which was burnt down a few years ago. They found burnt trees in a forest trying to recover from the fire. But in this time, still in the desert, one of Cutter's children, she finds her first wolf cub. And this is the way it is with wolf riders. The wolf bonds with the elf, and they tend to bond for life as puppies. But Lita's feeling strange and a little lost without her soulmate, Cutter. When they bonded fully, and she's beginning to just miss him. And she's speaking about how he's going to be gone for a year, and how she can't seem to take the strain without him, and how she misses him and loves him and wants to be with him. And they have a pretty powerful bond between them. When you're a soulmate with another elf, you're able to hear their thoughts, feel their emotions, learn their inner name. Meanwhile, Cutter's out in the field, and Cutter's doing what Cutter does, hunting. And this time he's not hunting to eat, he's actually hunting for a ride. His wolf is getting older and not being able to take the strain of being ridden constantly anymore. And plus, these horses move faster, they carry more weight, and they actually learned how to tame these horses when they were in the desert during Book 1. Now, as they ride off, they're basically looking for a new forest so they can establish a new halt. That's what they call their giant tree fort. Very cool. And they're beginning to find more trees. The fire didn't kill everything. It stopped at a certain point. Now they're kind of going through a swampy area, a bog, and Cutter gets bit by this weird looking rat creature, and some of the filthiest water I've ever seen. Skywise does his best to bind his friend's hand, but that wound is absolutely filthy. Now, as they're going through the forest, they're kind of getting their mojo back, and these two have missed the woods. I mean, it's their home, their place of origin. But Skywise senses something, an ancient evil. An evil that could release something dark, driven, like that creature they killed in the first book. You see, when the elves' castle ship kind of crashed here, the magic, when those doors opened, it mutated certain things too. It changed the world around them. But anyways, Cutter and Skywise are off, trying to look around, trying to establish a new fortress, and all of a sudden, Cutter falls down. It's the poison from the wound. It's getting infected, and Cutter's not recovering. He's actually getting worse. The water was absolutely filthy. It's probably super infected, and Skywise just takes off to see if he can find help. Cutter, of course, is trying to wash out the wound. He's trying to keep himself hydrated. His wolf is trying to help him too. But Cutter's reaching that point between worlds, between life and death, between our world and the metaphysical. And he begins to see things, familiar things, his mother and father. He sees them both before him. Bearclaw, Joyleaf, they call to him. They tell him that it's his time. It's time to go into the light, but Cutter's not ready. He has a wife, children, and he's willing to fight to stay. He wants to stay. And as he slips deeper and deeper into this sickness, a human falls upon him and tries to help him, but his wolf jumps up and attacks him. The human, just acting out of instinct, hits the wolf with a fire in the face. And they kind of decide to take Cutter. You know, he's sick, he needs healing. But Cutter does not trust humans. He pulls his sword out. He's ready to fight. He's had a lot of bad experiences with humans. So they brought him to their little tent area. Cutter escapes. And this is just distrust for the humans all the way around. This is one of the main things this book talks about. They talked about in the first issue how the humans and the elves just don't have no trust for each other whatsoever. And of course, Skywise is out trying to find a solution, trying to find an answer. And Cutter's there. I mean, he tried to escape, but he's just too weak. He can't. He can't get up. He can't fight. He's already hallucinating. He's sweating. He's trying to sweat out the sickness, and he has no choice but to let these humans help him. Now, Skywise, on the other hand, has been looking for plants, herbs, anything that he can to kind of just help his friend out. And he's having a moment. He's getting frustrated. He's looking around. He finds the plant, but he also finds Cutter's wolf. Right when he finds the plant, and Cutter's wolf kind of explains what's happening. He's been wounded, so this kind of sets Skywise off on a rescue mission, and he jumps in, knives ablazing, to rescue Cutter. And Cutter screams out no, because he realizes what's happening. They were healing him, helping him, and he sends to Skywise. I love this sending. It's a very, very cool way to communicate. He explains what happened, and Skywise also tells Cutter that he has the herb and that everything should be all right. Now, Skywise is distrusting of humans too, but at this time, they have to say at least thank you. There are times when mercy is absolutely necessary, where a little kindness goes a long way, and it's a lesson that both races needed to learn. But the mother of memory is reaching out to them, looking for them, trying to send for them. And it's interesting how these two races can bridge the gap, even only for a moment of peace, a moment of kindness. And isn't it funny how something so small, that one simple act of kindness, can change the course? Maybe not the course of two races, but the course of how certain people think, certain individuals think. And all it takes is that one spark. Things go so terrible sometimes, but sometimes they can go the other way too. And now Lita's just really missing her husband at this point, and she's trying to, continue on with her life. She is one of the main leaders of the tribe. But the mother of memory calls to her. The children call to her. Now, Cutter's son has an ability. Like the mother of memory, he can send off far distances. And the mother of memory calls to him. They combine for a moment, use their powers together in a way to send, to look for Cutter, to find him, to see what's going on. And it's very interesting how the gift gets carried on through generations, through people, but they sense something, they feel something. And it's time that the tribe finds Cutter. It's time that the Wolf Riders were all together. And will they be together? Will they find each other? We'll find out the next time, and I'll catch you on the flip side.